Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Wave. We talk about a lot of concepts related to long term crypto investing. So, if that interests you, then do like and subscribe our channel. We post one video every day. In this video, we'll talk about something very interesting, right, on what the rich people are doing. So, there are some lazy ways of investing which might just work out, especially if it's a bull market. Right? The easiest way is if the market is going up, then take the top 50 tokens, throw a dart at it, wherever it lands at. If you had invested in it, probably it would have gone up, right? Even 10%, 5%, whatever, it would have gone up if it was a bull market. But that's not the real way to do it, right? And in the other easy way, the second most easiest way, where you have to put probably minimal effort, is following what the rich people are doing. The rich people, in crypto, can we can easily know what they're doing because we have a lot of websites that track what different the top 100 ethereum wallets, the top 100 bitcoin wallets are up to. And to give you a little bit of example, I'll walk you through, first of all, how who are these rich people, how rich are they. We have this website here, bitinfo charts, where you can look at the rich list of various tokens. And if you look at the balance in terms of Bitcoin and percentage of total tokens and percentage of addresses, there are some very interesting insights. Right? There are at least, there looks like there are five addresses that have between 100,000 to 1 million BTC balance. And these addresses, these five addresses account for about 4% of all Bitcoin. And if you just go up from bottom, you will see that somewhere when we come to between 10 to 100 Bitcoin holdings, that roughly amounts to about 0.35% of all addresses. But if you look at the percentage of coins, they hold about 85% of all tokens. Right? Of course, we have to discount the fact that some of these might actually be an exchange cold wallet. But even if we discount that, it broadly comes down to the Pareto principle at 20% of 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 people might hold 80% of all wealth. We see that in the stock markets. We see that in land holdings. We see that even in terms of like what Pareto in his original experiment discovered in terms of the peas and the pods. How 80% of the peas came from 20% of the pods. So Pareto principle is following us even here, right? And it's the skew is only getting worse, uh, and hence one of the mission of Wave was to help more and more people learn about cryptos and get into it, because this is going to be the largest wealth transfer in history, and we don't want the skew to be that bad like how we saw in the stock markets and so on. We want more and more people to try and get into cryptos because it's accessible, uh, and there is a big future to it. But the ideal way to do it is stay out of scams, invest in the good tokens that have long-term value, that have good sound fundamentals, and that have a real utility, a real world use case. Right. Now, getting back to this distribution, if we look at the balances where it's between 0 to 0.00001, right, that's about 7.8% of addresses. It just has about 15 BTC or so. Right. But the real skew is here. Now, there's another website called Whale Stats. So Whale Stats tracks, a few blockchains, a few wallets, Ether, and a few other blockchains to see what are the top. In this case, it's the top 100 Ether wallets. So what I'm essentially looking at is what are the top 100 Ethereum wallets, doing in terms of what are they holding, what are they trading, what are they buying, what are they selling, etc. And if we go down, you will see a breakup of what they're holding. 20% of what they're holding, I mean, this is excluding Ether, of course. Excluding Ether, 20%, close to 20% of what they're holding is USDC. So you can discount all the stable coins like USDC or USDT. Let's look at the other tokens that they're holding. 18% of the largest held in terms of concentration is the FTX token. This is FTX token is for the FTX exchange, because trading is still has probably the most utility in the crypto world. Anything related to trading is sure to be used, and FTX especially has grown tremendously in the last couple of years. And it makes sense that a lot of these guys are holding FTX tokens because the derivatives markets and others in the crypto space are just exploding, and there will be a huge uh, expansion of this market, and one of the primary beneficiaries of that will be the FTX token. Hence, it makes sense that the whales are sort of holding on to this. Um, what surprised me actually was Shiba Inu. About 11% of the holdings for these whales are Shiba Inu. I made a video on Shiba Inu the other day after I saw this, and found some interesting things. You can possibly watch it. Um, so Shiba Inu is also doing some interesting things, and I don't know if 11% justifies it, because I still feel that a community-driven token, which was essentially a meme coin, today has some interesting things that they're doing. Would that ever work out well in the long run? So should you invest more than 0.5% of your wealth into it? Uh, that's a question open, but I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't hold 11% in Shiba. Then there is Best. That's another token that the holder seems to be holding. There's OKB, MXC token, but where the familiar tokens come are really in terms of Matic, Mana, Link, Engine, Chills. I know for a fact that all these tokens, I've done my research on, right from Matic to Chills, all of these tokens have a great use case. They have a lot of collaborations. The ecosystems are growing. I'll try to post an analysis video of each of them in the coming days. But overall, these are phenomenal tokens. Right? Chills is a great token. Sand is a great token. Then there is ApeCoin. I've not really done my research on that, so can't really comment on this. Maker is an amazing token. Gala was the best performing token of 2021. Loopring is another great. Loopring and Aave both are great tokens in the DeFi space. Uniswap is the biggest decentralized exchange, and it makes sense that they are holding on to that. Um, that's either any of Binance. So that's a BUSD. It's a stable coin. You can ignore that. There's Graph token, Spell token. These are good. DAI stable coin. It's a stable coin, but this is where Maker comes into place. So they are holding Maker. That's good. Basic attention token is probably my favorite token. In fact, I'm using a Brave browser right now, which is backed by the basic attention token. So that again is an amazing token with a real world use case, a brilliant team. It has over 55 million users. So some of these tokens have, which although seem to be in a lower position, definitely have a great long-term value. Some of the other tokens that they're holding on to, like Best and OKB, I've not really done my research on that. So probably will try and do that in post-analysis video. Um, Now, for you as an investor, you should probably check out these whale stats. Gives you an idea of what are the rich people doing, and then you can try and do some research to figure out, is this even worth it. Right? So this can be a starting point for you to discover great tokens, because if somebody is holding 5% of their wealth, right, of their enormous wealth, which is probably in millions of dollars, the average holding here is I think about 200. No, that yeah, the USD value is about 273 million. I'm not sure if that is that seems to be the average holding of total holding. Sorry, for all the 100 top whales. That's enormous value held in some of these tokens. So it makes sense that this can be an ideal point to start your research with. There are some other interesting stats as well. What is the most traded token today? That happens to be Link, Chainlink. The most widely held token is Uniswap. Yesterday or day before yesterday, when I was checking it, it was BAT. Today it seems to be Uniswap. So again, both BAT and Uniswap are great tokens. Biggest one, like we saw, is the FTX token. Um, there's another one that you should definitely see. What are the top 10 purchase tokens and the top 10 sold tokens? And this gives you an idea. If something is making it to the top 10 purchase token, then it means something is going on. Especially if there is an abnormally large purchase, then it means that this could be something that you should definitely look at on priority. And if it makes sense, if it's a sound token, then you should try and invest in it. The top 10 sold token, if the whales are selling it, they probably smell a problem, or they realize that this has reached the top, or it's overvalued, and hence they're selling it. Like Ape, for instance, I feel it's that's why Ape seems to be in the top 10 sold coins. So that's another metric that you should sort of look at to figure out why people are selling, what are they selling, and then see if it makes sense for you also to exit those tokens from your holdings. Um, but yeah, broadly, you can get a lot of insights from us, from just watching what the rich people are doing. Hope this helped. Hope this will give you some idea of where you can start in terms of researching, instead of randomly looking up or picking up tokens from, let's say, some media article or something. I would always trust the whales, because they are putting their money where their mouth is, and hence it makes sense to follow what they're doing and then do our research based on using that as a starting point.